Hello, we are live. I'm about to go live on Facebook too. We're on YouTube and Facebook right now. Not Facebook, Instagram right now. So I am just going to go live on Instagram and then we're going to get started. All right, so this is Only the Facade Season 2, Episode 2. All right. Hello, and welcome to Only the Facade Season 2, Episode 2. Today we're going to be modeling the roofs in this example that we have. So this is the example. All right, we have it all set up here. All right, so we're going to be modeling this and these roofs. All right, so last week on Only the Facade, we modeled all of these walls. So we really lay down our wall space. I'm going to shut the overhead light off. And now hopefully we can see everything super good. All right. So we'll rotate it here. All right. That looks good, everyone. So today we're going to be doing these roofs. I'm going to start by just putting on the basic roofs right now, and then we're going to go in and add this curve somewhere down the line. So we're going to want to start with some of these more basic ones. I have this on my other screen so that I can go back and reference it. And then we're going to go to an elevation. And then we're going to go to the top plate view and we're going to rename that roof. And this is going to look down and be our roof plan. I'm going to keep all the walls to one story right now, and then I'll raise and lower the roof as we go to see what it's like. So let me go to view, and then I'm looking up at my screen. If I am looking over, I have a sidebar screen. So if you see me looking up, that's what I'm looking up at. Or I'm looking over because I'm checking the Instagram chat. So we have a lot of different people, a lot of different streams happening, but it's a little bit more smooth than it was last time. I am going to go to view and I'm going to go to plans, floor plan. Now I can make a roof floor plan and I'm going to make it a main floor plan. And now I'm going to do an underlay, and the underlay is going to let me see all of the walls below. So I'm looking at the outline and I'm looking at the image, and we're going to start with a hip roof over the garage. I'm going to change it. This is floor. We're going to go into the roof setting, and we are going to change this to 8-inch shingle. And then we're just going to take the box and we're going to make a box like this. And then we're going to want to do AL, which is align, and we're just going to want to align the edge of that roof with the edge of that wall. So then we're going to go and we're going to align this side. Oh, it's not working. AL. Okay. So all of the lines are checked off, basically, as a slope. So there's this little slope icon right here, and if you select the line, it says up here define slope. If we uncheck that, then that line won't have a slope associated with it. But if we check it off, each line will slope up. So with a hip roof, all corners slope up. So we're going to want to keep that checked off. So they're all checked off, they're all aligned. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to offset with the OF command on the keyboard and offset everything 1 foot. So it's set up here to be 1 foot. It's going to make a copy of the line, and we're just going to offset these all a foot. And I'm going to hit tab, and it selected the chain of lines, and I'm going to delete the inner ones. So then we have a check mark, and we have a hip roof. So we can see it's super high up right now because it's set to the roof level. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop it down and I'm going to put it on the second floor. So this is the image, and we're going to be creating this hip roof. So you can see how it's sort of cut off. We can also do that by raising it up and down. So we can maneuver it with this push and pull button, and that allows us to mess around with the cut of it. So we can see that if we start raising it up, it starts changing directions on itself. So I'm trying to get it to rotate. Okay. I want this flat portion to be facing me, but I'm not really sure how to get it to change directions. So I'm just pulling it up and down right now, and we want to make sure that if we do that, we can get it to flip. And I don't know why before it was working, and now it's not. So we'll leave it like that for now, and we'll go and make this one and start adding the peaks in. So I'm going to go back to the roof plan, and I am going to start adding some of these peaks in. So we're going to do roof, and we're going to keep the shingle tool because it meets in like that, and then it ends around there. So what I'm going to want to do is create the peak first, and then I'll figure out how to do these swooshes in the roofs after. I'm going to uncheck these two because these two will make it a peak roof. And then we're going to put this down to the second floor. And that's what we start to have. I'm really confused as to why this isn't moving, but it's okay. So this line and this line basically connect to each other. And then we have a little peak going this way, connecting this bridge right here. So I'm going to want these to be the same ratio or slope. And I really wish this was going in the opposite direction. I think the way to do that is to just change the slopes. So I'm going to make this a 9 and I'm going to make this a 4 and I'm going to see what happens. And this is a 9, this is a 9. All right, and let's see what happens when I do that. All right, so when I set the slopes like that, it gives me the cut in the middle. So I'm going to just now slowly pull it up until it reaches that point that I think matches the picture the best. So I have to see, I can't go too high. So I'm going to just guess and change these to be a 12 over 12. I feel like they could be pretty steep. And then we're going to go back to the 3D view and face the front and see what it looks like. So it looks like it pretty much comes up pretty high. And then we'll do this as a 12 over 12. And we know that these die into each other at that corner. So I'm almost thinking that this must be a little, exactly like a little piece that just comes over the wall and then this must come back. I'm going to go back to here and see how far I made the roof. So I'm not sure why I can't see this one in the roof plan. That's a bit odd. I might have to adjust my view range. So because it's set above the roof, it's probably not looking down as much as it needs to be. And now I can see it. So that's a quick little trick if you ever can't see anything in your roof view and your view range just might not be going as low enough to see things below a certain feet. So it's set to look at things at 4 feet. And obviously we know that those roofs are a little bit lower. So in order to actually be able to see them, that is why you have to adjust the view range. All right, so this is everything below it. I'm going to match up the peak to the edge of here because this portion of it is a curving roof. So I'm just going to design this portion of it for right now, and then we'll do the curves after. So that looks good. Everything is lining up. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little button up here, the join and unjoin roof tool. This is specifically for roofs, for joining and unjoining roofs. There's this join command. It just basically joins two elements, but this is specifically for the roofs. So I'm going to select this edge. I'm going to select this face, and it connects it for you. It is not connecting it there because it's a little bit not intersecting it, which is really weird because it's lined up here. I guess we'll just move it in just slightly and see if that fixes it. It did not fix it, so let's just really slightly move it over so that it's matched up. All right. So close. I don't know why it's still not working. Okay, now it's working. So I just want it to be perfectly on the edge. So close. So close. I feel like a lot of Revit is sometimes just trial and error, honestly. Oh, why is it unjoining them? Oh, it's weird. We'll just leave it for now. We won't get too stuck on making it perfect. I just lost it. Zoom to fit. Here it is. Sometimes I feel like my model can get lost, and I just always zoom to fit if it does. I feel like we just need to keep moving it over a little bit, and then it should be good. All right, so I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that. We have this one going across. So we want to do roof. I'm so cold right now. It just recently got super cold, like in the 32 Fahrenheit range. And I was not ready because it was like 70 degrees out 2 days ago. So now it's 32 and we have to turn our heat on, but we were just dying of the heat wave. And now there's a cold wave. I feel like I can't keep up with the weather. It's making me sick. We're gonna do this. Oh, all right. So we want our peak to be these two sides sloping. So we'll uncheck these and then we'll put these like that. We'll drop it down to the second floor. And then we can look at this picture. And it looks like it's probably about a 6. It's pretty steep. This is a 9. And maybe it's a 9. No, it's gonna be like a 12. It's the only thing that's gonna give us all that surface area. Yeah, I feel like these are probably all 12s. I guess we'll see when we get these peaks going. So it's a big hip in the back. And then it's these in the front. So that one comes all the way back, and then there's the hip. And that is sort of what's happening in the back there. So you can see that this is actually looks like it's up higher than this is. So I think I'm gonna raise this like 1 foot. And that looks about right. It's a little bit higher here because it dives into it and then it comes down. So this one just is straight through peak to peak. It's a small peak and then a big peak. So it's small and then it comes out on the other side and it's this big one. So I feel like with this back wall right here that's sort of maybe in line with this one, it'll give us a line where we can start the hip. And then in the front, not far, maybe in line with the stair, maybe in line with this window, we can end the hip roof. So we'll just have to play around with it a little bit and sort of figure out what we're looking at. So these two bump outs in the back are, these are two peaks and this is a dormer. So you can see here that these are probably two peaks and the dormer comes this way over them. So yeah, I'm just gonna come straight across for now and we're gonna have to see how it works out. Probably that wall. See, but now I'm not sure because this wall is right there. And it looks like it bumps out from it or dies into it. this is so difficult. I think it might all be in the same line. We'll just keep it. We'll keep it. We'll do this as a 4, and then these as a 12 like we did the other one. And then we have these peaks in the front. So we have one big one to the right. We'll adjust everything after. Once we get out into it, that's when we'll adjust everything. So from here to here, it's just straight. Is it over the chimney? Stops at the chimney. It's weird. Yeah, okay, so I guess it's all the way to the end of this opening, right? This whole thing. And then this will be a different piece. So I think how we have to do this is in pieces because this side is longer than this side. And the gable and Revit always wants to be symmetrical. So we're going to have to make a symmetrical one and then do another one out of this and join it together. So I definitely don't want it to be too far over. I'm going to just do from there to there, the inside of the wall. And then this is the chimney, which this stops at the chimney. But it looks like it's probably the chimney in the middle because it is thicker at the bottom and then it comes up. So we'll try that. And we'll uncheck this and do this, and we'll make this a 12 over 12. All right. Now we're going to do one here to connect to it. This is over the porch. It's probably going to look so funny when I uncheck this, just because there are going to be random pieces of roof, and then I have to connect them all. But it's okay. So again, we're going to uncheck that. We're going to check that off. And then the last one that we're going to do is this one. It's sort of coming over like that, and that connects back to it, and that's where it starts to curve. There's a lot going on. Okay, looks so funny. So I did these going the wrong way. I gotta just flip these. Okay, I was like, what is wrong with them? I was looking at them weird. I was like, I have no idea what these are doing. I realized I defined the slopes wrong. So we're just unchecking those. Now they look right. This one I didn't do right either, so we're going to uncheck those. I'm going to do that. We're going to make sure they're set to 12. Set these to 12 over 12. 12. Okay. And we're going to move them all to the second floor level. And then we're going to move them up. And we are going to bring this picture over to the side so I can keep looking at it. I'm going to connect this one back. So we'll start with this one and we'll work our way forward. Oops, I don't think I hit the right tool. Okay. It's Close enough. It's missing just a little bit, but it's close enough. And then this continues up. I'm going to have this continue up about, flip that wall to be black metal, MA, and we're just making these wall types the same, and then we're going to select them all with the control button, holding in the control button, shifting and pressing in the middle mouse button to pan around. And we're going to select them all, and then we're going to put them to about 6 feet above. There's a good substance of window there, so maybe 8 feet above. And that probably lands us at a good point. Okay, so then we have this wall that gets connected to this roof. So it looks like it needs to come up and it needs to go over the wall first for it to attach to it, but now it should attach to it. Attach to roof. I don't know why it didn't stay. Okay, there we go. So now it's attached, and then we have this one joining the back. It keeps wanting to start a new roof. Pick, pick. All right. So can I pick the other side to connect to the wall? Why does it keep activating the roof command? I don't want to activate the roof command. I just want to join roofs. Join with this wall. Yes, that's super cool. So I selected that edge and then put it to the roof. And because there was nothing here to connect to the roof, it didn't move this one. But then I clicked on this side and connected it to the wall. And now it's connected to the wall only where the wall is. So I'm going to just pull this wall over by moving this in 3D at the bottom and pressing shift to keep it straight. If this were a project I was worrying about the inside, I would definitely, well, I guess I'm just going to do it right. I'm going to attach the base, and all I have to do is attach the base to this wall, I think. I'm not sure if they're intersecting. They're not intersecting, but you could edit the wall and only do one that's up here on the second level to here. There's a couple different things you could do, but this is only the facade, so I'm only going to worry about the facade. And if it looks funny in floor plan, which it does, like that obviously wouldn't be like that, then it is what it is. But there'd be ways to do it. You could edit the profile to cut it out. You could split the wall. I guess I'll just do SL. I'll split it. Now I feel like required to just show you because it's easier. But let's just go to the floor plan. Bring it over, and I'll do starting on second floor going up to the roof. And because it's connected, it is in the right spot. And then we just move this one over in the floor plan. And then that's what it looks like. You can use this basic join tool to join them with each other. I don't know why. Okay. Patterns aren't aligning. What you can do is AL, and you can actually tab on the material pattern and then align them if they're not cooperating with you. Sometimes that's what you gotta do. So now I'm gonna go ahead and reattach this. So I'm selecting this edge and it keeps opening it up, but I keep redoing it. It keeps working. So that edge to this face. And it's really starting to take shape. And then this one, I have to do like all the way over here, I think. I have to have it match the other one. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how we do this. How we do this. This one comes all the way over here. Why wouldn't it work? Unjoin elements. It's fine. I think that's okay. Really trying to decide if this is the look or not. Think if this one just moves down and then moves over to like extend this side of the roof edge, then we might be good. Because if we look back at this side goes down and this side ends like right here. So this side has to be moved down. I'm just using the arrow keys right now to move it gently down. I definitely want, see, I don't think these two sides are aligned. I think this just dies into it, and the peak is all the way up there, so now I think that it comes over more. This is so confusing. Do I think it comes over more? What do you guys think? Do you think that this just goes, it's hard because there's no like straight picture. Is there a straight picture? This one's perfect, okay. Peek here, peek here. They're not really that next to each other. So we got some adjusting to do. We have some. That's probably right. I think that having that create like a V right there and okay. So much easier. That's so much easier. All right. Comes all the way over and the chimney is just in front of it. I want to make sure that these front faces align with each other, and they do. We want to just put that flush. I want to put that flush. We'll put that there. We'll put that there. And then we'll go to the front view and see what it looks like. Alrighty. This is really little. It is like over the whole entrance, but then to the middle of the center peak. I think it's to the middle of the center peak. It overhangs a lot, I feel like. Yeah, definitely all the way over here. And then over here. Let's see in the floor plan. So the steps are are not covered. This just like wraps out, but it ends basically right where the wall starts. So we'll put that there and that there and see what it looks like. I think that's looking pretty good. I just want to get these to align. So I'm just going to drop this like that. And then I'm going to select this one, this roof edge, and go back with it. And then this one just joins this one. And they disappear in each other, which is pretty cool. Oh, this one like is set back. So it wants to align here. Alrighty, that's what's happening. It might be a little bit further back, but it's pretty hard to tell. Yeah, it's definitely just that 1 foot step right there. And then it overhangs about a foot, but then on the side it's pretty tight to the front element, the front material. So I'm gonna just move these a little bit over to be in line with the hip. And then I'm gonna move this one a little bit over. And this one. And they're fixed. Perfect. This one I feel like just comes down so much lower. I feel like they all come down a lot lower than they actually are. I'm going to attach this wall. I'm going to attach this wall. And then I'm going to just drag this all the way over in the floor plan. And then we will do SL for split, and we'll split it right where it hits it. And put this one to second floor to roof. Into the wall. And then we have this connected. I'm just going to join it. And that disappears. And this is what we're modeling. Again, we're getting pretty close. I'm pretty excited. Good. So I'm just going to move on now and put this shed roof on. So everything is looking pretty good. I want to fireplace. I'm just gonna put it straight up for now, even though it does get smaller, like it tapers in. But I'm just gonna put it all the way up right now so that it's acting as our chimney roof. All right. And then a foot. So we're gonna go to the top view and we're just gonna edit this and we're gonna put out everything standard a foot. So MV, I'm typing in 1 foot, MV, 1 foot, MV, 1 foot. Then I'm leaving it 4 now. Well, I guess I'll just do all of them 1 foot so I don't have to come back and do them later. This will be 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot. This one I already offset. This one will be only in the front. 1 foot. This will be here and here. 1 foot, 1 foot. One foot in the front, 1 foot to the side, and then we can go back and see what it looks like in 3D. So I think that's pretty good. Pretty good right now. And then I'm gonna move this wall to like have that cut there. I think I can do a dormer cut, and then I can select this roof. That's what I want to put the hole in, and pick roof and wall edges. So I'm going to select all these interfaces so that it cuts around it. And then I think it just goes across the bottom. Has to be a closed loop. I think I have to go to wireframe here and get that roof line on the inside. So like down here. Oh no, I don't know where that last line is gonna come from right now. Normally it is the line across the roof, but we don't have that quite yet. I can't touch those faces. All right, so I'm gonna exit out of this and I'm just gonna draw essentially around it and see what happens. I've done this trick before and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And that's all I can really say about it. I think I'm gonna uncheck these 2 side ones and we're just gonna see what happens. We're just gonna see what happens. I think it came out funny. It did. Look how funny that looks. It's definitely not what we want. Do I uncheck this one? Oh, I did. And that looks good. That looks good. Perfect. So we gotta do a little shed roof action here. We're gonna go to the roof plan. I'm just gonna save it really quick because I feel like I haven't saved this. I'm almost done with laying the basic roofs on this project. So we'll just do this. It's only pitching this way. And it's definitely overhanging 1 foot. Maybe only like 6 inches on the side. It's hard to tell the exact location. So I'll do this to one. Did the way I've been connecting all the other ones. It also needs to come way down. So it dies in almost to the top. And I feel like that's pretty steep, but maybe maybe a 6. That looks pretty close, not bad. The side of the roof and die into it. Yeah, it does not. So I'm gonna bring this down a little bit more until it fully dies into it. And then I'm gonna bring the sides in tight to the walls because I don't think they extend. We're just gonna fix it. Okay. All right. I feel like we have to do maybe a 4. There does look like there's a lot of area up there left over. So I'm going to just bring it up a little bit more. And I'm going to change this back to a 6 because I really feel like it's a 6. A little bit more. Maybe it's a 5. Comes out. Just feel like there's a lot of surface area there that might not be there if I'm adjusting, and I look so funny right now. But um I'm just adjusting. That just feels like a lot to me that wall isn't gonna cover it. If I attach here, this isn't all the way covered. Okay. And I'm just gonna drag this over and drag this over. Issue of it not meeting the hip. This one isn't joined correctly. Now we go back and we fix. And we fix. And we fix. All right. Now the walls are in the right spot. -3.4. -3.6. I just want it all to die in the sides. I don't want the sides to be cut off. Perfect. This is pretty much the dead-on view. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. Looking good. All right, we need to be covering this whole little leg right there. And then we need to attach. I'm really happy with how these roofs are looking. Angle here, everything is looking pretty proportional to the original image, and I'm really happy with how that's coming out. So the last one before we do the slopes is going to be the back. So this is the back of it. I'm just going to save it real quick, and we're going to flip around and do these. Stuck around this long. Thank you. I hope you're having a blast learning about roofs and how to I sort of tackle them, especially if we just have an image to go from. I hope that you are following along and learning how to get in and manipulate and start doing some of these techniques that I'm showing you. I would love it if you guys could tag me in your models, in your modeling process. I love the recorded version of this. Hello, good morning from India. It is nighttime here in the US. So good morning. It must be Tuesday. It's still Monday here. So we have one peak over here and then one peak over here and then a dormer in the middle. It's an odd configuration, I will say. We'll go to the roof plan and I'm gonna draw the roofs. Oop, I clicked structure, so I'm just gonna escape out roof. And I'm gonna see how much it's overhanging. It's overhanging about a foot here, and then it's just dying into this little shed roof porch area. So we want to uncheck that. And then we want this to come over 1 foot to align with the other one. We're going to want to bring this down to the second floor. And then we're going to want to make this 12. And then I'm going to just take this one and I'm going to copy it. I'm also going to extend this a foot just so that it's even. And it should die into the shed roof below. I'll just join them. And then I'm going to copy it. I want the peak to be in the center of the walls, so that's why I did it that way. And then I'm going to draw the shed roof. It's coming out a good amount, in my opinion. So if I go back to the first floor, we could probably see how much the covered porch is coming out. Perfect. And I'm just matching the outline of the covered porch given to us. And then all the way back here. I made it a hip roof by accident. We want it to just shed in that front one be sloped. This is a house that add house design, add house plans, and I just took this image in the floor plan off their websites and I'm modeling only off the pictures in the floor plan. I'm only modeling the facade of this project, and I would agree that it looks like it's $1 million house. This is a huge house. It has a small second floor. I don't know where this is the second floor, but the outside of it is very beautiful. And we're doing the back right now to finish up the roofs for the night. And then next time we're gonna get into how to do the curve roofs, because honestly I have to figure out how to do it. I've never had to do a curved roof before. So it'll definitely be interesting. I'm gonna make this a 4 and drop this all the way down to the second floor level. And then it looks like these come out from the wall a foot. So I'm going to move that out a foot. Move that out a foot. Yeah, so right now I'm actually live streaming on YouTube. I have a YouTube link that I put in my stories, and the screen recording of are posted there. So if you want to start modeling this house with me, you can go back and you can watch last week's episode, where we did all the walls and the materials, and then up until today's episode, which I started laying down all the roofs. So you can actually go on the YouTube and watch the replays, and it'll be a video of me modeling the entire house up until this point that we're at right now in this moment in time. And every large screen, um, and the YouTube is just straight recording my screen. So I have the YouTube link. It's in my stories. I posted it earlier, and all the replays of last week's and tonight's modeling of this house up until this moment will be there. And I'd love for you guys to follow along on the replays and then post in your stories, tag me in your stories, your progress. And each week we'll continue modeling more and more of it. So I'm looking and seeing that this looks to be in the right spot for now. It looks like maybe it sticks out a little bit more. If I go to the first floor plan, it looks like it overhangs from this column like a foot. So I'm going to go to the roof plan and I'm just going to bump it out 1 more foot. And I think that gave us the depth that we were looking for. This looks really shallow. I'm hesitant that it might be a little bit less steep, but I'm going to leave it as a 4 for now. And then I'm going to connect these back. Do I think the inclination is more in the image? When you say inclination, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Do you think inclination is more in image? Please elaborate on that question. So I just attached it, but it's missing missing it just a little bit. So we can see if we zoom all the way in and we just move the peak a little bit over so it hits it, the roof slope. Yeah, sometimes there's perspective can throw off the roof inclination. I think once I get the windows in and the columns in, I'll be able to really tell if the inclination feels right. Right now, I have it as a 4, but my perspective is different. So I'm probably gonna leave it. Sometimes I'll go back and forth. I'll see what it looks like as a 3. That looks pretty shallow. And sometimes I'll just go back and forth and see what I think it looks more like. Um, but I'm feeling good about a 4/12 for now. So I'm going to leave that there. And then when I put in these windows and this dormer and the columns, I'll probably have a better understanding of what the roof slope inclination is. So this is what we're working with so far. We have all these big crazy roofs, all these materials, and we're just adding in these back pieces at the moment. We have, oh, I just hit, but it's fine. I'm using the roof tool again, selecting that edge and selecting this main edge for it to die into. It is again cutting it at the corner because it's not completely dying into the eave, and we can see here that it's pretty off the hip roof. So I'm just going to adjust it over so that this roof completely dies into the hip roof, and that is a flush connection. So here I'm going to connect this corner to this roof. Again, this roof tool saves my life. Like, look at that. It saves my life every day. I used to like try and draw the outline of the roof to match it because before I knew the roof tool existed, and that was really hard. Now there's no guessing. It just ends up exactly the way that it needs to be. And I can't see the line there, but that's feeling more proportional to me. That's probably good for now. Now I'm just going to copy this dormer up and put it where I think it probably fits best. So I'm just going to literally go in the 3D view, type CO, and then copy it straight up. And then I can open up in the floor plan, the roof plan, and just pull it back. I moved it back about 5 feet. This wall looks like it's in line with the wall below, so I'm just going to look at the first floor plan. And I'm going to make this wall connect to the roof. And then I'm going to go in 3D, and now I can see where it is and how far back it is. So I'm going to adjust this. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and then I'm going to move it so that it is there and then 1 foot off the wall. And now instead of extending it back like this, I'm going to undo that, undo, undo. I'm going to use the roof tool. So there are 2 ways to do it. You could, again, pull the boundary line back, but if you want it to like join with the roof and cut itself off, it's better to use the roof join tool because then it's not like in the roof as a square and this is cutting it itself. So that actually looks like a pretty good location. It's almost right above the ridge of that peak. Could also be the perspective. The perspective is from the ground here, so it's probably a pretty distorted version of what I'm looking at dead on. I'm going to make this a 5. Nope, that's too steep. I'm going to make it a 4. I think it was probably good as a 3. It looks like they were showing a little bit too much roof, but I'm going to keep it as a 3, which is what I made this bottom one as well. And I think that that is pretty good for now. I have been streaming for 1 hour and 5 minutes, and I think this is a good stopping point for us. We have almost all of our roofs laid and in place. We just have to do this one off to the side, and we will do that one tomorrow. We will connect these tomorrow, not tomorrow, next week. We will finish those dormers tomorrow. Oh my gosh, I keep saying tomorrow. I really want to stream tomorrow, apparently. I will, on next week's episode of Only the Facade, be finishing the roofs with you guys. So we're going to be putting the sidewalls on this dormer here. We're going to be creating this second dormer here and this roof that goes with it. And then we're going to be just connecting this roof to these roofs, as well as learning how to do those curves at the front of the building together. So curving and then adding walls connecting to this dormer and adding this dormer and connecting this shed roof. And then hopefully it won't take us too long to finish up those roof things and we can start looking into doors and windows, where I get them, how I manipulate them, what my fave manufacturer is, and we're just going to be adding more and more details to bring our exterior to life. So thanks so much for joining me. I hope you come back next week, Monday, 7 p.m., live on Instagram, live stream to YouTube. Link in my stories. I'll be updating it in my link tree so it lives there forever with the replays. And again, please tag me in your models if you're following along doing this with me as well. All right, you guys, have a great night, and I'll see you next week.